Hello everyone, Reed back here with my Monster Hunter Portable 3rd playthrough. Today we're going to be taking on Tigrex. This time I'm going to be fighting it with a great sword, because that's kind of what I know how to fight it with. Sorry about the yawn. It's about 1:30 in the morning here. Not that that really concerns you, but... Anyways, so Tigrex is sort of like one of the hardest, I guess, monsters of the past, but not so much in this game. I mean, he's the same for the most part, except for, well, I guess this is village low rank, technically. So it doesn't do a whole lot of damage as it normally would, but in the past it did. It was sort of the, like, wall monster. It was the title monster of Freedom Unite. Actually, it's in this area, so... Alright, so that's Tigrex. It's sort of a mix between a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a, like, I don't know, what do you call it, like a wolf, almost? I mean, I guess the obvious thing is, oh, it's like a tiger, but it doesn't really look like a tiger beyond the stripes. And, yeah. I mean, anyways, that's not really important. But this was the title monster of Freedom Unite, and I don't believe it was in Try, so I think this is sort of its second appearance in Monster Hunter. I'm not entirely sure on that, but that's what I believe to be the case. In Freedom Unite, it did a ton of damage, and its hitboxes were very poor, like, both in terms of being able to avoid things, and also in terms of, like, being hit by things in sort of bullshit ways. And a lot of that is fixed in this, especially the hitboxes. And honestly, I think they kind of like fixed where it's like, oh, it's too big, but left in where it's like you can dodge in a strange way. I'm not entirely sure on that because I haven't played Freedom Unite in freaking ever. But my main strategy, my main strategy for this guy is sort of just try to get the tail off first, because without the tail, a lot of its moves become very avoidable. Like, this spin move is very easy to avoid, and that's only really like the only one that you can sort of get locked into and like have no real hope of getting out of. Also, that spin, I'm pretty sure it had it in Freedom Unite, but it was much faster. Like, yeah, it's a watered down version in this game, at least from what I remember. But yeah, as with most monsters, you know, take the tail off first and then sort of work on breaking everything else. That's just my philosophy on Monster Hunter in general. So there you can see the sort of like exploit, I guess. And one of the main reasons I'm using Greatsword is because you can do that sort of hit its face and then roll under its arm as it charges at you. I tried to do it again a couple times, but I think I was too far to the left, because you sort of have to like hit its left eye to really get the damage and then not get hit. At least I think that's how it was. So here, well, I hit it and staggered it, but if I had dodged there, I probably would have gotten hit, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I could have just had the timings off, but that's one of the main strategies for fighting this thing. Also, it's really easy to fight with hammer, because you big dumb head, you can just kind of pound away on it. And that was sort of my main strategies for fighting it in Freedom Unite. So there you see, I'm looking at it now, I'm pretty sure I was a little bit too close to its face, so I hit it with, like, sort of the near part of my sword, as opposed to like the far or the middle. And that's not something you really want. But now it's in rage mode, and as you can see, it's a lot faster. This is sort of how I remember it being in Premium Unite. Maybe not quite this fast in normal mode, but maybe like 75% of this. And yeah, it was a scary fight, just in general. Like, wow. I have horror, or not like horror stories, but like bad memories of fighting it. Or doing the like Twin Thunders quest or whatever, one of the guild rank up things to get to, I think, Hunter rank, what was it, 8? Yeah, I think it was 8, because that was sort of like where you could get all the good V rank stuff, as opposed to just like the Lost Prey, Gen Drome, Gen Prey, all that crap, which is generally pretty worthless. Of course, there was a couple of good things, but excuse me, I've got like these hiccups. I pretty much ate a whole pizza earlier. Pizza Hut, that was not a good decision. So yeah, there's one of the reasons why I took the tail off, is like you cut its tail length in half, and so you essentially get like a ton of space to dodge that little spin. And as I said before, that spin is one of the harder moves to avoid, I'd say. Because you can sort of like, say I end a combo there, and then it does a spin, I could be trapped in there pretty good. Also, the one thing, I don't know what the hell it's called in this game, procced. That was nice, I guess. But overall, this fight was decently easy, except, well, you'll see later. Things go awry, so to speak. But also, oh yeah, I totally forgot to think about, or talk about this. Sorry for the, like, 2-week hiatus. My term in college just started, well, 2 weeks ago. And so I've been really busy with that and classes, and sort of just trying to keep on top of everything. And I haven't really had a lot of time. So with Martin Luther King holiday, I've had about an extra day to sort of do this. And hopefully I can get another video up next week too. I'm going to try on that. It kind of depends on how my sort of week goes, I guess. And also, I mean, things may or may not be coming out regularly anymore. Also, its roar is very strong, so to speak. I thought this was only black Tigrex, which is a subspecies. But if you're too near to it and it roars, you won't go to like the crouched and covering your ear state. You'll go to this like pushed over state, and it won't do damage. But this was scary right here. I was like, oh shit, am I gonna die? So I dodge, and as you can see, I have regular potions on. I thought I had great potions, but I was like, oh shit, well, no big deal. But anyways, I've broken 2 things on it. Well, cut its tail and then broken its face. I don't think I've broken the arm yet, which is next up. Those, like its arms and its face, don't change anything. Its tail is the only thing that's very, like, that changes up, I guess. And so, yeah, this thing's not too big a deal in rage mode or anything. I mean, it can be if you're new, I'm sure, because you're like, well, this was really easy like 2 seconds ago, and now it's just running me over like a goddamn freight train. But, I mean, I don't know. I understand how it can be hard, but I personally don't find it too hard. Unless you do, like, stupid things. Or, you know, you get kind of comboed in the corner. But that's not really hard. That's more just like, well, shit. That sucks. Not much I can do about that. Yeah, there goes one claw. Also, Tigrex armor generally kind of just sucks. Like, it's got some neat skills, but very boring ones that don't help you too much. I think it's got like tracker, maybe like a carving skill, and oh, I think it has earplugs on it, which is actually pretty good. But other than that, it's not very good. It hasn't been just ever. Also, I think coming up, something interesting. No, maybe not. Well, coming up I know, but yeah. So my main strategy, yeah, as I said before, just sort of duck and weave. But that's sort of my strategy with just the greatsword. And there's not much I could have done. This was pretty cool right here. So then, boom, you can have it stick its like mouth into the wall. You could do this in Freedom Unite too, and it was really easy to do in the mountain area at the very top because at it, like 90, well not 90%, but a lot of it was that wall. You just have it, you just jump out of the way, and then it would get stuck in it, which was really nice. And it would, if you usually got it, you could KO it. Excuse me. Oh man. But yeah, not much to say about this, honestly. I mean, it's tough. You gotta be on your toes. Also, more to speak on why I'm fighting with Greatsword. I've never fought it with Switch Axe, at least as far as I can remember. So, I didn't want to like jump into this and then just get my shit rocked. Also, I didn't remember how hard Tigrex was in Portable Third, as opposed to Freedom Unite. Because I remember Freedom Unite being like, well, shit, this is really hard and scary as shit. But at the same time, I mean, the third generation games is generally kind of easier, I guess. Not to, you know, say that the game is easy itself, but as opposed to older generations, it's easier by way of like fine-tuning, so to speak. So it's like I don't know how to say it more than that. Like, small things have been fixed, and that makes it better overall, but also much easier to do things, if that makes any sense. Which is a way some games are, and some games just happen to be. And I think a lot of people see it like, oh, this wasn't like that in the original, blah 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 blah, and then get too caught up in like their nostalgia for the originals and like game or series, and you know, get blinded to like good things that the new iteration brings. Like, third generation had a new weapon. Well, I guess if you're talking Triad, had kind of two new weapons in terms of medium bow guns and the switch axe, but I guess like the bow gun system. I never played Tri, just throwing that out there before I, you know, make myself make a complete ass of myself. But from what I understand, like, bow guns work differently in that game, and you didn't just build a bow gun; you built like the parts for it and you put it together, and depending on like the weight and stuff like that, it would be determined what would happen, or what it would be like classified as. And if it was under a certain weight, it would be light. If it was under another certain weight, it would be medium, and so on. Which is actually a really cool sort of way to do things. And I actually hope they bring that back. Of course, I don't know how it actually really worked out in Tri, if it was just a complete disaster with like making it very easy to stack certain things, like, oh well, this just has high recoil, I can deal with recoil easily if I just slap the highest thing or highest power barrel on here, but then have everything else be really shitty. I can get a ton of attack damage and still get the mega super good movement of like a light cool bowgun. So it's like the best of both worlds. Of course, with some limitations, I guess you'd say. But I don't know. And that's sort of, I guess it's like, that's my thought on it, at least. It would be cool to have it be that sort of system return. I mean, maybe some, I don't know. I haven't thought this through fully. This is kind of just off the cuff, me thinking about this, but that would be very cool if you could do that. So here is the section of this fight where things kind of slowly degrade in terms of me doing good. So I see that it's limping, so I'm like, okay, it's almost dead-ish. I was like, you know, it'd be cool if I just like slammed this thing whole mid-charge. My thinking was to just pull a gotcha bitch from the video Gotcha Bitch. If you haven't seen it, go look it up on YouTube. It's hilarious, and like when I played Free Unite and this game with my friends in high school, whenever like that something like that happened, we'd always just say, "Gotcha, bitch!" It was great times. So that was my like history with it, I guess you could say. So what I'm gonna be doing here is not good, so to speak, because I didn't want to kill it like just while trying to soften it up enough to kill it in one blow, but at the same time I didn't want to like get myself killed. And also, as you saw before, not there, but like a minute ago, the sort of spin move is the hitbox is very strange. Like in Free Unite, I would have gotten hit, but I rolled, or it went over me. And there too, like, I think what they did is they made like the active hitbox happen later than it did. So there I got hit. Either that, or, well, okay, here's my thing on how it goes. It goes like, they made the active hitbox be more, what am I trying to say here? More, detailed. So it's not just like a big box around it. It's more just, you know, it outlines the monster better. That was really cool. So that's a mini gotcha bitch, as I was trying to do. And so ideally what would happen is it would charge towards me. I'd do a fully charged Great Sword Smash on its face and kill it. And it looks awesome. It makes you feel awesome too. I've done it a few times. Not a lot. And it's not something I'm like a pro at. That was also neat, I guess. But it would have been cool if I hadn't gotten hit. But yeah, it looks cool. It feels cool. It's pure style, essentially. Like, nothing else. You don't get anything from it. No shiny. As far as I know, at least. Maybe you do. Also, that was terrifying. I was like, well, shit. Oh, that's some good water. Nothing like water when you need it on like a dry or sore throat. That's soothing. Soothing. But also, I guess this kind of just goes on. There's nothing very exciting happening. But what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks, like I said, been doing some, like, school stuff, mostly homework, reading. Also, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance came out, so I've been playing that. Well, again, I guess I had it for PS3 when it originally came out, and I loved it. But I didn't really get to play it a whole lot because my PS3 is in my friend's room in the dorms, and it kind of sucked. So that's neither here nor there. But so now it came out on PC. I figured I'd pick it up, and there is a lot to that game that I only scratched the surface on my initial playthrough. Like, I didn't even know there was a dodge button, like, or well, I guess not dodge button, but dodge move. So, yeah, there you go. That's the price I pay for style points. And that was very unfortunate, because that was a really good fight up till that point. I mean, I guess besides like 5 minutes of me trying to kill this thing. But anyways, yeah, I'm playing Metal Gear Rising. I've thought about making a couple videos, but honestly, I'm kind of like, I'm not burnt out on it, but like, I've done most everything so far, and I'm not good enough to like make one of those like show-off videos where I just beat something. Also, yeah, that's the roar. I guess it does do damage. I didn't notice that the first time, but I thought only Black Tigrex's roar did that. Maybe Black Tigrex is... No, Black Tigrex is definitely it definitely does a similar thing, which was disappointing, to say the least. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm not good enough at it to sort of make a video to like show off or do anything cool like that. And don't like... I love those types of games, but I'm never like quite good enough at them. Like, I'm decent at them, initially, usually. Like, Bayonetta I was decent at, but I don't have, like... I start good, and I don't progress too much further. That's how it usually goes. And I guess you could say the same thing like a fighting game. But actually, I'm just terrible at fighting games. I'm not even going to go into that, and that's disgusting. Like, I'm not the like, oh, what do I do? It's like, I'm a button masher, but who doesn't get anything done, essentially. So, you never see me play fighting games if I don't have to. Besides, like, Super Smash Bros. Because Super Smash Bros. Isn't really like a fighting game in the traditional sense. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to make videos on it, but at the same time, there's no, I don't know, like, there's nothing that I bring to the table specifically that is any different from anyone else that's decently good at it. But there have been other videos I've been thinking about doing, like, just sort of maybe go back to my old, like, chat style videos with, like, talk about an issue sort of just off the cuff for a little bit. I've been thinking about that a lot. I've wanted to do this video on Devil May Cry, the new one, or DMC, Devil May Cry, the new one, and why it's not good, essentially. But first I have to reinstall that game and probably play through it again, which I'm not looking forward to. And at the same time, like, I'm not good at those types of videos, so to speak. Sorry about that. And so that's a bummer. But that was Tigrex. Nothing too special from him. I think there's some other, like, maybe my next video will be a double quest of, like, 2 monsters. Because I think that's what I have left. Unless there's one I forgot to fight, but I don't think there is. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know. But I'm really coming close to the end of these village quests, and then I'll probably stop with Monster Hunter World 3rd for the foreseeable future. Unless there's a major demand for it. Because, like, the time it takes me, not really, I mean, it's not a lot of time, but it's kind of more time than I have really to spare, almost. I mean, I'm not saying, like, you should be glad that I'm making these, but, you know, it's, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, it takes more time than I have, essentially. And that's not really saying a lot, but I don't know. So here I just looked through my things. This is the end of the video. Excuse me. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Next time, probably Dual Monster Quest. Thanks for watching.